Empire Total War Darth Mod Spain campaign. And this, my friends, I've left it last time, and we are, my friends, attacking Britain, which has decided to launch an attack against Gibraltar, try and wrestle Gibraltar away from us, this control of the Gibraltar Straits, which is vital here for our trade, and indeed the trade of many of our trading allies here in the Mediterranean. Now, as you can see, the British have sent in a fairly strong force, but as you can see, we have met them with the absolute brutality here of an elite Spanish force here, Swiss Grenadiers. We have Swiss Guards, absolutely apogee here of the fighting men of Spain. We do have a militia here as well, and also some light infantry, but here is the main problem, which many people will probably see here. We don't have any fire support at all. Now that is because this army was actually being in the process of building itself, rebuilding, of being constituted into a real fighting force, and the guns hadn't actually arrived at at Madrid to be able to put into this army. So in other words, we've had to fight this, or take this fight now sort of semi-prepared, as it were. Now this army will of course do its utmost here to destroy this British army and send it back into the sea from whence it came, but the riposte we would normally have here against the British is not going to have that sort of firepower, that backup of firepower we normally would have. Now of course we are under siege by both the Austrians, and we've also, of course, you can see, you've got the British as well assailing us, and they've brought a hefty fleet in here. But we do not, under any circumstance, my friend, back down from this fight. Not a chance. In fact, we're going to be aggressive in this fight. We're going to be moving these forces. I mean, look at this. It's an absolute joy to see. We've even got Spanish Marines here, Spanish Granaderos de Marina here, absolute wonder here, and Grenadier Guards as well. But you know, these gentlemen here, these Swiss Guards, are the absolute zenith here of fighting forces for Spain. They really are a wonder to see. We've also got here Spanish Regiment de Infantarium in Memorial del Rey. Now look at that. I mean, look at that regiment there. What a wonder, what a fine example, sir, of a Spanish fighting force. But as you can see, the British have brought 4 cannon, but they also outnumber us here in cavalry, as you can see here. So we have to have our wits about us here. We have to be absolutely on top of our game here. We cannot allow this British force to move anywhere else. We must trap it and destroy it here. And this is sort of pretty much taught us a lesson here. We are going to improve our home defences here. We have, of course, got Spanish forces across Europe. We've got Spanish forces in the New World as well, but we've neglected, as you can quite clearly see here, and the British have quite clearly identified that, and they've moved against us. We must, of course, be ready here in the future if we achieve victory here. Now we're not going to be, you know, sort of cowering in the corner here, waiting for the British attackers. Not a chance, sir. We are not cowards, sir. We do not stand for cowards. Not indeed, sir. We've also got a fine backup here. This army here, as you can see, in Gibraltar itself. We're looking at Colonial Line. We've also put some Grenadiers in there, a 3rd Grenadier Regiment, just add a bit of backbone, a bit of steel there. We've also got, of course, the demi-cannons, not going to really do much. We've got 1 Line Infantry Regiment here, the 9th Regiment of Foot. Let's begin the defence here, my friends, of Gibraltar. Now, we could see a number of casualties here, primarily because of those guns, and our lack of fire support is telling here. It really does. Normally our riposte here, our response to this would be bringing in overwhelming fire support. We have none, which is unusual, and we are going to absolutely make sure that doesn't happen again in the future. As soon as we've dealt with this British army, we're going to immediately put those guns into production. We're going to absolutely put a lot of firepower into this army. We've got two available, but we will probably remove this militia here, this 12th Regiment of Militia, and probably send it elsewhere, probably to Gibraltar. We might even remove this expatriate infantry here and here as well, and have those ranks filled with fire support, and leave this highly elite army here in position. Oh, that is a wonder. So now look at that. If we did have the fire support, what a wonderful position it would be up here. Look at that. You can put them on here. Now we have in our favour though got the town, which means we can probably envelop from the left and right here, so which is what we're going to do. We need to split our forces so that the guns don't fall upon one particular sort of sector of our attack. We will have the general by here. Actually, we'll have the general quite far back here. We don't want the general to be. Actually, no. We'll have the general moving in with his troops. We'll just put them here for the moment. We have 1 regiment here of horse, which we'll put right out on the far left here flank. hopefully to be able to move around and take out the artillery. But it's going to be a brutal fight because the fight is going to be involved in street fighting. We cannot get around that fact. We are going to be dragged into a street fight here. So this is going to be a pretty brutal fight here. It's going to cost a number of lives. We might be able to take over some of these buildings here, maybe move in and sort of anchor ourselves upon these buildings here, particularly here the town hall, which can be taken. Are there any other buildings within we have yes, we have a house here which you can take. Is there anywhere else here? I don't believe so. Only this house here on the edge. The town centre we could definitely take and hold. If we could put 2 regiments in there, we would hold against that, maybe draw them in like a magnet. Now, let's get our forces into some kind of coherent offensive grouping here. As you can see here, we've got a large expatriate force here, which we might use, dare I say, as the bait here to pull and bring in the fire. As you can see, this is good. This here is going to cause a little bit of havoc for us here. We need a regiment that's going to attack straight on, or regiments, should I say. And I think to that end, we'll use these regiments here as a sort of the frontal assault to sort of divert those forces. Now I know that's going to be, maybe some of you might think that's a little bit callous, but we have to do it, my friends. If we're going to win this fight here, we have to do things that maybe might leave a bitter taste on the palate, but it has to be done. So let's send these gentlemen right up on here. We've got the 44th Regiment here of expatriates. We'll put the 43rd on the right. Now this lay of the land here, this stepping stone here, this small hillock, is going to cause a few problems for us. But again, the main task of this force is to draw out the fire there of the cannon, draw in those fights, those regiments of the British, and then we can envelop them here from left and right. Now let's put the 45th Regiment here on this gentleman, on this extreme left here, and then 46th on the extreme right here. So this is going to be our frontal attacking force here, and that's going to be, I think what we will do is we'll have 2 regiments in, 6th and 7th Swiss Guards, right up here on the hill. So basically they'll be attacking and sort of moving around here, flanking quite heavily. Can we actually move within here? If we can. So look at these, oh my goodness me, look at that, sir. I mean, that is an absolute joy to see. I mean, that is a wonderful sight. Look at that. Swiss Guards, the absolute apogee here of fighting troops. They really are. I think we'll put the 9th Grenadier Regiment, the Grenadier Guards here, upon this right flank here. And we'll have we have the 8th Grenadier Swiss Guards here. Now we'll just put these gentlemen here. And we'll also put the 9th Grenadier Regiment here. All of these are hidden, as you can see. Oh, look at that. I mean, those hats alone would bring a tear of joy to your eye. I mean, look at that, to your face. Look at that. Swiss Guards. Oh, look at those Grenadiers as well. Oh my goodness me, this is just exceptional, sir. We really have got a wonderful fighting force here. We've got 2 Infantaria, I beg your pardon, Granderos de Marina here. I do apologise to any Spanish speakers here for my appalling pronunciation of Spanish names and regimental names. I do apologise, my friends. No offence intended. But I don't like really brutalising the names. I think we owe it to them to pronounce it correctly if possible. Now we've got 3 regiments of Swiss Guards here, 6th, 5th and 9th. Actually no, I don't, we only have 2 here, I beg your pardon. These are Swiss Grenadiers. Let's have a look at the difference between Grenadiers and Guards. So that's the Grenadier Guards, or the Swiss Guards, and these are the Grenadier Guards, or Swiss Grenadier. Oh, look at that, we can instantly tell the difference there, what a wonder. And we got 2 regiments, right, okay, let's bring these gentlemen together. We'll put them on the left here, in a similar formation. I wonder if we can... No, we can't hide them here. But we'll move them out in this formation here. I think we will actually follow the attack. The general will follow this attack here. We've got to be careful. We have to be very careful here. We don't overstretch ourselves. We'll have these two, the 9th and 5th regiments here. Going to go in the sort of the standard formation here, advancing formation. Oh, gentlemen, please. Thank you. Now I think we'll have the 11th of Spanish Marina going onto this right flank. This is oh my, this fight. Look at this attacking force will pack a real punch here. And so will this here, the 10th regiment here. I think to that end we'll also put this wonderfully named here Spanish Regimento de Infanteria in Memorial de Reyes. That's a wonderful name. What a wonderfully named regiment. Let's have a look at the history of those regiments. They read Spain really did have some fantastic fighting troops. They really were the absolute creme de la creme of fighting forces. Right, I think we're ready to attack here, my friends. We've got to really draw in this firepower and indeed the cavalry here. Let's begin. Got to keep our wits about us here. What have we got here? Right, let's get up here. We need to envelop this town. Now, how far can we go along here? All the way down here. Look at that, sir. Oh, whoa. This is not a jog, gentlemen. This is not a trot on the Sunday morning. Look at this. I mean, this really is the apogee here of fighting for. Gentlemen, thank you. We dragged those forces in here. They've also dragged these forces in here as well. Square formation. Let's quickly get a foothold here. What the blazes? Shotgunners in here already, sir. Don't you dare waver, sir. Where are those guns? All the way over here. That's absolutely fine. First we need to dislodge here this British fighting force with their backs to us, which is going to prove look at that, they've just absolutely been crushed here, sir. Stay, gentlemen, steady ahead. Let them come, lads. Let them come. Let's see if we can flank them. Got to move quickly into this town here. Look at that, straight into a fully prepared defensive line, sir. Ah, provincial cavalry. Exactly what we needed, exactly what we need here. Get in there, lads, get in there. Broken. exactly what we needed to bring these gentlemen on here. Come on, lads, get in there. Got to watch these flanks. Oh, look at that, sir. What a wonder. Oh, look at that. Absolutely shattered. Let's get into those mercenaries. Didn't have a chance. They didn't stand a chance, sir. What the blazes is going on here? I just moved them into the town centre here. Oh, what an assault this has been! This is the proof, my friends. If ever it was needed, that these elite troops really do have a wonderful. We somehow have to move. I think we'll move 3 regiments around to flank them here. Blazes. So let's keep fighting. I tell you what, this is brutal fighting here. Let's get ourselves organised here. Now we can advance on the hills, see on the That's what I like it. Right, let's move in right behind them here. Double time. Oh, look at that, right into them, lads. Exactly, sir. Come on, gentlemen. What's it there? Oops, please assemble. Absolutely broken. I do apologise for the double clicking there, my friends. For some reason when I click once it's clicking it twice. I do apologise for the spamming. I am not going to go back to those days, I can promise you. I've made a solemn vow that I shall never go back to those days. Oh, this has been nothing short of a bloodbath, sir. Even without that fire support, we've done exemplary here. very hard here. But they're the elite, sir. Give them a volley, lads. Give them a volley. Give them a volley. Did they honestly believe that they would simply walk into Gibraltar and we would just simply roll over? What a chance, sir! Swiss guards! These mercenaries might be paid handsomely, but they don't have the backbone to go with that gold. Not a chance. That gold is wasted upon them. Yes. Absolutely obliterated. Heroic victory, of course. So we sent in the absolute finest that Spain has to offer there. Eliminated. Statistics. I'm looking at that. Regiment of horse. 188 kills. Line infantry's done wonderfully here. That's a sterling effort, sir. We lost 765 men here. They've lost 1,600. Oh, look at that. They had nowhere to retreat to. Gone. But now we know that that threat is there, and thus we shall not allow. We got what are coming in here? 11,000 here. So we're going to immediately replenish this here. Although we're going to drain us of our resources. And what do we have in here? Anything? We've got cuirassiers. So we are going to replace those. Of course, we're allied with Portugal, which has a stupendous amount of forces. But we now know that Britain is indeed looking to attack us, and they've got a monstrous fleet here. We're at war with the Dutch as well, but we are allied with Poland, which is holding its own here. Now, I don't believe they're at war with each other anymore. No, they still are at war. I do beg your pardon. So we're only hoping that Poland can hold its own here. Now, who was Russia at war with? The Ottomans and Sweden. We do have a number of enemies here, very powerful enemies, including Austria. Now, Austria are at war with Poland and also ourselves. The allies are Britain and Sweden. So again, we've got to be very careful what we're doing here. We do have a huge amount of forces. Now, of course, we went to war with the Dutch because of our taking here of Vienna. And they moved immediately, the very same year, they moved in to try and attack us here. As you can see, they've also got this force they've moved around here, which is a considerable force. Let's not be, they've got Royal Hungarian Grenadiers here. Nothing to be sniffed at all. Even Hungarian Grenadiers here. They've brought their own Swiss Guard as well, Swiss Line Infantry. So this is nothing to be laughed at all. We must be absolutely on the ball here. We've already repelled one attack against Venice. I'm replenishing back up again now to meet another attack. We are allied with France as well, which is excellent to see now. Who are France at war with? They're at war with the United Provinces as well, and Britain. And so actually, the Dutch are actually in between these two here. Actually, France have retaken Brussels here. They've also got Milan here, which is hopefully going to aid us in this fight here. We've got to push back against these. So as these armies here are replenished, the council did actually suggest and recommend that we move against the Dutch and maybe take Prague and start to put a dent in this Dutch sort of empire they've built here in sort of Central Europe. They do have substantial forces available to them, and as you can see here, they're already upgrading their factories and their production capabilities. They do have a massive naval force, including these flutes here as well. Our naval forces have a lot to be desired. Unfortunately, we don't have that capacity just yet. However, we do have these Spanish heavy war galleons here, but not enough to tackle this. Actually, we probably do. We could probably attack this fleet here. But we've got this British force, this fleet here, which would absolutely destroy us within moments. So we've got to be very careful what we're doing here. Mind you, the firepower of these four here is vast. But we must remain not only disciplined here, but absolutely controlled here in what we're doing. We mustn't sort of lose our cool here. Discipline is the order of the day here. And we react to whatever comes our way. Now we are at peace here with these. We've got peace with Georgia as well, which has a huge fleet. We do have trade here with the Ottomans, which is good to see. And also here with the Crimea, which is bringing in quite a lot of money for us. We can only hope that the battle here between Poland and the Dutch actually keeps the Dutch pinned down here. We're actually going to move against the Dutch. We've got these Netherlands Marine Corps as well, which is a really tough regiment. Of course, we've got Sweden here, who we are trading with, and they have a huge amount of coming, 34,000 coming in here through Malmo. Now, with the Dutch and the British together, effectively so close together, they're able to work quite strongly together here. Thankfully, the French do have a stronghold in Paris, which is good to see. And they're starting to put here, look at those Swiss guards, my goodness me. Right, I think, actually, let's have a quick look at how our forces in the New World are doing now. We've actually seized a good portion, but if we could take Dutch Guyana, that would be, and they're also upgrading these as well. They're actually upgrading these to the full port. So if we could take these, our income would just be, would just go spike through the roof. Unfortunately, we don't have the resources, excuse me, my friends, just yet to be able to do that. But that doesn't mean that we're not preparing or not looking at that option. Cuba must be held. Cuba must be held regardless. And of course, we do have Britain now starting to expand, as you can see here, massively in North America. And they've even got, have they still got, excuse me, my friends, the 13 colonies? Yes, they do. So effectively, even though they're at war with France, who have the majority of Canada and some of North America under its control, it's going to be a brutal fight between us. We might have to move in additional forces. We could even take Punda, which I believe has got a high yield sugar plantation. Let's have a look at what that would bring. Trade. Sugar is 22, which is not too bad at all. And of course, America has been completely cut off here. But we're not going to lose our way here at all. Now we do have a strong ally here, or strength in our previous ally in New Spain, which you can see here is bringing in a lot of money and indeed exporting a lot to us. Let's have a look at the trade routes. Have we got nothing? We've got nothing in these trade routes at all, which does not sit well at all. So we must do something about this. But we've got to deal with what we've got in front of us here, which is Britain and indeed the Austrians. And Austria just got one last bolt hole here, one last bastion here, which is Stuttgart. If we could move against those, we would absolutely clear a real viper's nest. Oh, I beg your pardon, they've also got Klausenberg here. I'm only hoping that maybe the Ottomans can move against them. We do need to secure Zagreb a little better there. But Vienna is secured. That's not going anywhere there. But we do need to get walls ideally around Vienna. We can't really afford that just yet. But as you can see, we do have production within the mainland of Italy. The heart of Italy here really is rampant. Now, let's end the turn. Let's see what happens here, my friends. My mistake. We didn't check how our technology is going here. Now, what is Britain going to do? No, nothing silly, Britain. Come on now, France. You must do something here, sir. What will the Dutch do? Oh, actually, France are moving. Possibly, if they take Amsterdam, that would be an absolute wonder. Okay, they're attacking us here, which is what can we expect? The Dutch now moving against us here, which is, of course, they're raiding our gold mine, which is going to hurt us. But that's fine. We will eventually move against Prague. Russia. You might see that cut there, my friends. The Ottomans did take quite a while to decide what they were doing, but Russia, hopefully, oh, Sweden. Sweden are becoming quite the power here within the Baltic. There's a good chance they're actually going to be moving against Russia. So we'll leave them just fight that war between themselves there and see whoever comes the victor. 13 colonies will be next, but New Spain indeed, sir. What will New Spain do? Will they hit the British? Possibly. Are they going to raid the trade lines? Wait a minute there. Altitude watch. Well, yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. It's the Mughal Empire. We're on good terms with the Mughals. We'll just take that. Georgia, Courland, Barbary States. Now Algiers has been put forward by many of the council. That is what we should be doing. There is taking Algiers here and sort of taking. Oh, look at that! Yes, wonder, sir. At last we can get those first rates up here. Now, many of the council asking us to take Algiers and indeed bring this under our control here, so we have at least a slice of North Africa's under our control. Of course, we've got France here, Tunis and Tripoli here, which is good to see. We've got a strong ally on our shores and on our doorstep, as it were. Now, we do have a lot to do here still. Now, can we upgrade this here? Now, ideally, we need to get all of these gentlemen here up to full strength. And we could actually start moving. I think we'll move the cavalry from here. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to move the cavalry into here. We'll move, also move we'll move, gentlemen, these 3 regiments into here. That will then enable us to move these 3 regiments of heavy cavalry into this force. It's going to pack a real punch here, sir. Oh, that's more like it. And then the rest will be... Oh, look at that. We can actually get army board, which is going to give us... Oh, Guardias de Corps. Look at that. Regiment de Soria. It's going to give us Horse Grenadier Guards. Royal Cuirassier Guards with echelon. Oh my goodness me, it's going to give us Foot Corps Guard. Oh, they use... Oh, they actually melee... That's excellent, look at that. Riflemen Scouts, look at the amount of force we can get here. This is exemplary. Spanish Tercio Pikemen could be good. Now what we need to do, without a shadow of a doubt here, is to recruit the guns. We need guns here. So we're going to have... I think we'll have 2 howitzers. And we'll have 1 12-pounder here. To fit this army. This army's going to be fully retrofitted here. Absolutely going to be bristling with firepower. Now, we didn't check our research here. Why is Sevilla not doing anything at all? Why is it just sat there? One thing I cannot abide is laziness, sir. Now, I will actually bring in reduce food shortages. What about here? We've got everything running up and running here. Sevilla should be doing things. Let's get that there. Operating. Oh, wait a minute. Wait just a minute, sir. Oh, that's thrashing machine. That's fine. Got to get our agriculture working here. As you can see, we can only upgrade here to palatial estates, but I think it's far more important here that we actually... Oh, look at that gunnery school. That's going to give us... access to 12-pounders here, but that's going to help us move on here to upgrade further to 24-pounders. So we definitely need an army board here, which we'll do here. We invest in our. We definitely need to invest in our economy, but also we need to invest in our navy as well. Now, do we make this a governor's palace where we can recruit from as well? They have some wonderful sort of almost guerrilla troops moving out from here. Look at that, Spanish bandits with blunderbusses, which is just a joy to see. It really is. There's a lot of guerrilla movement here in Gibraltar. A huge amount of guerrillas operating, Spanish guerrillas operating here from Gibraltar. So you've got guerrilla commanders, or commander. I do like that sort of aspect of it, where I know that during, I think it was the war with France, I think it was Spain and Britain were fighting together. I know there was a lot of guerrilla operations in some of the hills in some of the parts of Spain. I know that for a fact, but I do like the fact that they've actually replicated this year. Do we invest in that there, or do we invest in these farms? I think it might be better for us to bring in these farms at a full strength here. It'll definitely increase the regional wealth, which we definitely need here. Food shortages are almost gone, which is good to see. Or we could upgrade this classical university here. This will give us wealth of nations. Some of these things we cannot get here without them, especially a classical economics, mass production. Also, let's quickly just move over here where the main front line is here. Now these gentlemen aren't replenished here. Why have we still got a flag here? Oh, look at that. We need to get the roads up and running here. Actually, probably better if we had the roads in Austria at maximum capacity here. Now, why is this? Whom within this army here? Ah, oh, because they're still doing. Come on, Mala, focus, focus. Now they're hitting the gold mine here, which is meager, but still. That's still improving our regional wealth here. We're not going to repair any of this. There's no point at the moment. How much further before these? Almost done here. So this force is looking pretty strong here. Can we upgrade anything here in Italy? We can upgrade Naples. Now do we have it as governor's military encampment? Which I don't think we do really need. Probably a governor's mansion would be better for us. It'll increase the tax income. We've got most of these facilities here. Let's see, upgrade Naples to a governor's mansion. A lot of this is being already upgraded here. Already, which is good to see. So we now know what's in here. Not much. If we could dispatch a force here, that would be excellent, but we're not going to worry about that just yet. We hope that France can hold its own here, which I'm assuming they can. That was a pretty brutal fight here. But this army here does need to move against. We're probably going to move against Prague and hopefully draw in. But we don't know what's in Prague. So I think what we're going to do is just move this gentleman here and find out what's going on in Prague. We're at peace with Bavaria, which is good to see. We can and will hold here. We could always bring this army board up as well, because we get Swiss regiments in here, because of course we're on the Swiss border, as it were, here, which is good to see. But these being hit here are not going to help our cause. But we don't want to repair these, because all it's going to do is just draw them in further into sort of hitting them further and further. I think we'll do this. I think one more turn, my friends, and then we'll end this episode here. We've already had a battle here as well, defeating those British fiends. We'll bring these up to full strength, replenish them, and we've actually stiffened the resolve of this army considerably. These cuirassiers and putting the guns in as well will pay dividends. Portugal not really doing much for us. We're not really up for that. Nobody else is going to join us here. Persia's very friendly with us. Mughals are friendly, very friendly. Russia's indifferent. We've got to watch that with the Russians. 13 colonies are friendly with us. Minus 165, minus 90. They don't like us at all. Right, let's have one last turn here, my friends. We've got 8526 coming in. That's because Some of our trade lines are being hit here, so of course it's going down. The army upkeep is growing. Right, let's end the turn here. Let's see what happens. Britain, no, not doing anything there at all, which is good. France is actually taking the port there, which is good to see. Austria coming to try and steal our technology, no doubt, and also spy upon us. Do something about that in the future. There it is. There it is. We can only hope that they move against us here. They're starting to build their forces here, but can we push them back? Oh, that's going to hurt the French. Sweden and Russia did nothing there, my friends. That's a huge fleet they're building there, a huge fleet, sir. If that's aimed for Russia, they're in a lot of trouble. 13 colonies. Use Spain. Good to see that they're actually moving here. Looking to patrol Mughal Empire. Crimean Khanate. Clearly they're moving against Russia, the Crimean Khanate. Georgia. Barbary States. Oh, that's going to hurt the French. And pirates. That's not a problem. Oh, wait. Now this is going to be a problem here. We're going to have to break this. We cannot go against Portugal. Enter the war inside of Portugal. I mean, look at all that we've against us. We're going to try and break the alliance here. We've got to. We simply cannot move against all of those. That would just be ridiculous. And that would put us in a tremendous problem in terms of what we go here. This is going to be a real fight here. Look at that. They're quite clearly moving in for another fight. But we're prepared, sir. Excellent. So this ready is now. We can move down. We're going to hold our nerve here. And to that end, actually, what we should have done really is move these forces back into Madrid, just in case Portugal gets it in its mind here to do something. Because we didn't join that war. We're not going to join the war, any wars at all. We're going to avoid them all unless it suits us. Now that army's been in a fight. Look at that. Grenadiers to France. But it looks like France is going to take a bit of a beating here because their main trade hub here has been hit. That's a lot of money flowing in through there. Well, we need to do something here about... Let's see what's in Prague. That's a considerable force here. And that... Oh my goodness me, that's a heck of a defensive force they've got there. They've even got line infantry guards here. They really are packing a punch here. So they're putting quite a lot of power here behind these defences here. And we get military academy on the border here. That's going to give us a boost here, but ideally we need to get this up here. 7378. That's reducing quite a bit here. So I think what we're going to have to do is put the army board in here. What do we get the gunnery school to give ourselves those howitzers? What have we got in here? In this army here, we've only got one regiment here of artillery. We can already get 12 pounders. Oh, we can get some fabulous troops, including line infantry guards of our own. But ideally we need to invest in our economy. We need to keep this growing here. $750. 600 down here in Pontenza. But that would all feed into here, wouldn't it, really, to be honest with you? Water-powered cloth mill. We do need to strike against the Dutch here, but we don't have the forces really to do it thus far. Palatial estates, which again all feeds into... What about here? 600 here. So I think we'll just stick with that there. There's no point in upgrading this commercial port just yet. Governor's mansion. Okay, not really going to feed into much here, but I think we need to upgrade our economy here. Let's get some of these. We do have to be very... I think what we'll do is we'll just put these gentlemen on the bridge here. What that'll do is just give us the ability to strike wherever that might be coming there. Now, Grand Opera House, we don't really need that yet, so let's invest. We're doing the theatre. Got 1657 here. What can we invest that in? Is there anything here at all we can invest that in? Not really. Here on the front line, these great estates here. That's what we shall do. I think we need to start putting together another army here, but we won't do that just yet. We don't have the economic firepower just yet to do that. But as you can see here, my friends, we do have set ourselves up quite nicely here for what is to come. But we do need to really get ourselves out into the... I think what we will do is we'll invest in... Start putting together a trade fleet here. We'll put a brig in here. That is not good. That reminds me, we haven't looked at our ministers at all yet. Whom has passed away here? We definitely need someone better in America, that's for sure. This gentleman's not giving us anything at all. What about Maximano Rodriguez here? Oh, look at that, sir. I think we'll put this gentleman as a control of America. And look at that, straight away that's going to boost us here. Look at the Justice Ministry. Got some wonderful candidates here. I mean, this gentleman, he really is a buffoon of the highest order, Carlos II. Now, many of the council have asked for us to actually deal with that, which I think we'll have to do eventually, but that's just holding on there. So we might have to invest in getting this bawdy house here up to a theatre to help with the happiness here. But that, my friends, is where we're going to end this episode, and we really have had a productive episode in terms of being able to remove this threat here from the British. We've still got this fleet hanging around here, and how we're going to put our own fleet up to match that, I'm not quite sure yet. We could, of course, continue recruiting from this here, but we can eventually upgrade to a dry dock now. I think, have we got naval architecture advances? No, we're in the middle of getting that. 7 more years before that happens. Then we can get a dry dock, and from that dry dock we can then start to put some very nice ships into production, particularly galleon, but second-rate ship of the lines. But ultimately what we're looking for is the ability then to move into that heavy first-rate ship of the line, which is what we're going to get from having, as you can see here, oh look at that, Marines, late Marines, Spanish Infanteria de Marina, Naval College. And then ultimately we'll be able to move up to dry dock into the full shipyard, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. It really is. Or dry dock, should I say. That's going to be absolutely wonderful. So Austria has actually seen, and also really Croatia as well. So Austria here has already seen that increase here. So that should give us the ability to create, Grenadiers at least, and Grenadier Guards. Oh, Lancers as well, which is good to see. Blunderbuss shotgunners, but also line infantry guards, which is excellent. So the front lines are pretty stable at the moment, but we can see that Austrians are going to quite move against us. We do need to do something against Prague here, but we'd have to clear this force out of the way first. It's only the mountains here that are giving us any sort of protection against them hitting Zagreb. Now we've got this firmly under our control here. And mind you, that isn't under control just yet. So it's going to take a while, but we do need to deal with these forces. We might even move this force from Hungary and start mopping up these forces here. But I'll leave that to the council, and what you decide, my friends. Whatever the council decides we do here, within sort of the Balkans, and indeed Italy here. France is still strong, thankfully. We've moved out of that war they declared upon there. This is going to be a real... I think we have to start focusing on what's going on here, but... what cloth? Look at that there. 1,050 to that regional wealth there. That's going to be a huge boon to us. It really is. And there as well. Do we have coke blast furnace? Yes, we do. I wonder if it might be better if we actually put that 800 to regional wealth. I think we'll do that next time around. We've got coming in then 7544, which is not too bad. But I'm going to leave it in the council's capable hands here of what we do here. Do we strike against Prague here, or do we mop up these forces here on the border with Munich and ourselves here in Vienna? Because this is all still Austria. This is all still Austrian territory here. I know that some might say we can move this Venetian force around here and strike. We could actually do that. Might not be a bad idea, but I'm going to leave that in the capable hands of the council to decide what you want to do there, my friends. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We have given the British a very bloody nose down here in Gibraltar. We've got to be careful that we don't allow the British to be able to slip in here and take Madrid. So we're going to move this force just on the bridge here so we can move back and forth. And we're going to tighten up our defences along here, particularly if we can get another army out. Maybe from Rome. If we get another army out from Rome here, that would be absolutely fantastic. But, as I was saying, that will be the council's decision here. +1 or -1, +1 adjust. This is excellent. I'll leave this in your capable hands, my friends. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, please keep your comments coming down below. Please, as always, my friends, don't stop those wonderful comments and proposals and advice coming. It's been an absolute joy to read. It really has. But whatever you do, my friends, please be safe. And until next time, my friends, bye for now.